7:49, so just about 10 minutes left on the show, and we're going to take that time to link up once again with Chef Jason Peru, because we're going to talk now about in-home dining. Yes, food outlets have been given opportunity to do some business, curbside pickups and all that sort of thing, but if you're financially strapped, you still want to eat at home, you still want to get into the practice that you've developed over the last few weeks. So Chef Jason with us once again, very good morning to you, and indeed talking about the issues associated with home dining, and as the original bubbling star, as you have right there on your uniform, start bubbling. Let's get going with the in-home dining, Chef.
Hey, morning Fazeer, morning to all your viewers out there. So we know restrictions have been lowered minimally. Restaurants, food establishments are open now, but strictly to take out. So, I mean, the COVID-19 period has taught us about self-sustenance and learning how to cook meals at home, even spending more time socially with our family. But are we really going to forsake all the teachings, the lessons, the culinary cooking that we've done in the past 2 months, and now revert back to the fried chicken, the Chinese takeout, and the endless junk food? People saying, I need a good dining experience. You know, we want to go out, and Chinese like to go out and so forth. So I came up with some ideas here. Ideas for us to foster the fine dining experience at home. So let's talk about it a little bit. So take this opportunity now to grow your culinary repertoire. I'm sure most people have grown immensely, and hence they're now trying to probably elevate their culinary level. They've been doing different cakes, cookies, different roasted dishes, and they've surprised themselves. So I say, take your time. Don't abandon it from there. You know, continue with that momentum. And as simple as you doing a date night with your spouse, your husband, your wife, whatever the case may be, or even children at home for a family, do something simple as pretty much roasting a chicken, some roasted potatoes, some sauteed veggies. There's a saying that Prince Harry actually cooked for Meghan Markle on their first date, and he did a roasted chicken. And I mean, if Prince Harry could actually do that and win over Meghan Markle, by all means, take that into your date night and try that at home. Let's look at probably some areas for guidance in that. You could always go onto YouTube, look at the tutorials. The University of YouTube is exceptional these days. It walks you through the video concepts of how to do something. Even check my website, chefjasonperu.com. I have guidelines on all of these areas that you can follow during this period of trying to execute in-home dining.
Well, you know, Chef Jason, if you're to take your analogy about Harry and Meghan to its logical extension, it means that apart from the fine dining experience, you end up falling out with the in-laws and going to another country.
Fazeer, that's a different conversation altogether.
Well, you started it, boss. But let's get back to our topic in the few minutes that we have.
Exceptionally.
Take us through the process.
A different country. Let's talk about a different environment, setting a theme. We want to, apart from just looking at food, you want to look at probably the decor, even the music. So take example, authentic Indian food is pretty savvy. People like to go out at these restaurants and have great authentic cuisine. So put on some easy listening Indian instrumental music, you know, get some petals on the table, some incense, some candles. Look up a recipe for something as it may sound pretty fancy, but maybe butter chicken. It's really simple, but some people think it's a bit awkward at times. Butter chicken. Try your hands at making some naan at home on your tower or even a pot. It could be done. Again, I have guidelines for this all on my website. Try it out. Reposition your table. Bring it outside on the patio, under the stars. So create a different environment. Have that music playing. And, you know, all these things help add to the whole element of fine dining. Because when we go out, obviously, it's in a different environment. Let's bring that different environment home. Put it under the stars. Try something differently. You want to look at also economics. Now, as you go out with your family or you go out with a date night or husband, wife, whatever the case is, you probably would spend $600, $650 on a good meal between two of you guys. Maybe for a family, you might spend $950. Take that same money, that same denomination or less. Invest it in some good quality ingredients. Maybe buy a top quality steak that you're not accustomed purchasing. Some good, maybe vegetables. Maybe try a special type of bread. Make it a unique and distinctive date night or family event at home to fine dining. So bringing these fancy ingredients inside there. Dress up also for Fazeer at the same time. Ladies love to dress up. You guys dress up. Dress up. Treat it as an affair that you're going out. Have that music playing as usual and make something amazing. Try to create that environment. So take the same money that you more or less dine with and put it into some quality ingredients. At the same time also, you want to look at technology. A lot of couples like to go out with other couples and date nights, and we chit chat, we drink, have fun. We can do that same thing at home. Encourage your friends to try recipes. Set up your iPad and converse with them while dining. Ask what they're eating. Share recipes in that point in time. See each other. Converse. Laugh. Be humorous. Make jokes. This is another aspect in terms of fine dining that we could still keep our friends together, dine with them, but through technology, through this limited time at this point in time. All right.
Some very interesting points there, Chef. And before time runs out, I know you want to talk about some lockdown learning points because we've had this experience for almost 2 months now, and you want to ensure that we actually benefit from the experience.
By all means. I mean, we have some areas here that I want to also talk about, the learning points of things or takeaways or benefits that we should have learned. And give credit to yourself. At the end of the day, we are actually smarter than we give ourselves credit for. And when it comes to our culinary repertoire, it's time to pat ourselves on the back. Because a lot of us were very timid and lacked that confidence to trust ourselves with making a simple dish in the kitchen. But now that we've tested ourselves, we got great commendations for our family members, friends, and spouses. So don't throw it all away. Continue with that and allow it to boost our culinary repertoire. That's one good point. We are much more capable in the kitchen than we were 2, 3, 4 months ago. We saw what goes into our food, from making cakes, cookies, and even pastries. We see the amount of flour, maybe the butter, the sugar. It has educated us and let us know that, is this the amount of oil that my bara is usually fried in when we make doubles? Or is this the same amount of oil that we use when we're frying chicken? So it has made us a little more conscious about what goes into our body and has encouraged us to actually cook at home and watch the ingredients that we put inside it from a health perspective, and even using substitutes at a point in time. A friend told me the other day that, wow, I didn't have no idea that the amount of butter went into croissants. I was like, yeah, it's copious amounts. Now that they're making it at home, they have an idea. So from vendor's point of view, that's something to look at also to see when you're purchasing food, what goes into your body. Last factor also, Fazeer, you want to talk about is the cost factor. We were able to weigh and contrast in terms of the dining experience. We go out for $650, $700 between two of us, but then we look at that same $700 and we see what could be purchased from our nearby vendors, from the supermarket, and we saw the copious amounts of foods, provision, rice, meats, seasonings, and realized that, wow, we're getting a bigger bang for our buck if we use the same $650 or $700 rather than just splurge it on drinks at a fine dining restaurant for one night. We're able to probably feed ourselves for a week and a half to 2 weeks. So from an economical point of view, it has taught us how to stretch the buck longer.
And a final perspective, Chef, and of course you can get all the information at www.chefjasonperu.com and interact and get all the information. Do you get the sense that people are really going to take advantage of what we've learned over the last period? Because remember we were talking last week about stale pilau, how it tastes a lot better, and I can confirm it because the wife made pilau a couple of days ago. It tastes even better yesterday, and then she did a little mixed salad with some arugula and thing in it with some olive oil. Well, it mashed down the place, so it really worked beautifully. Do you get the sense that people are just straining to go back outside and spend $1,000 on 2 plates of food, or do they really want to enjoy the experience at home?
I think it's 50-50 at this point in time. I've been kind of start feeding out the climate right now. And there's some people that were urging. I saw somebody was actually sleeping outside a local fried chicken franchise on Monday because they couldn't wait for it. And then some people I spoke to while I was shooting some shows this week, they said, you know what, we didn't even miss the fried foods. We didn't miss the doubles. We didn't miss the chicken. We were cooking at home because that's what we're accustomed to, actually strengthen my culinary repertoire. So I think it's shared at this point in time. It has to do something with our economic bracket. It's very easy for someone to pick up a $20 box of Chinese or fried chicken on the way to work or maybe lunchtime as compared to probably spending time at home and cooking. But it's all about your health at this point in time. So I said it's shared, and it's up to the person to realize what is important for them in their life and what time yields for them.
Chef Jason, as always, a pleasure, a privilege, and indeed, as I said, at least I know because you and Chef Chelsea Marie as well, you all don't like to wash wares, that if ever there's an opportunity that I'm looking for employment, I'll be the first one at your door knocking to get a job washing wares for you. Thanks very much once again. Good to talk to you, Chef Jason, there as we wrap up our discussion.